Good morning and welcome to the Red Mic. Hope everybody's doing okay today. Glad you've joined me. These Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mic message, we're going to lean on the scouting side of my background a little bit. There's a concept in scouting that scouting uses. They didn't invent it, but there's a concept in scouting called leave no trace. And what does that mean? The idea behind it is leave take nothing but memories, leave nothing but footprints. Now, when you're out walking in a pristine park, or that's pretty easy to do. I mean, no trash, no trampling plants, just being part of nature without walking all over it, literally or figuratively. The whole idea behind Leave No Trace, LNT philosophy, is enjoy nature without leaving a harmful impact. And that was the key to me, harmful impact. So, how do you bring that mindset into the workplace? There's 7 LNT principles, and yeah, a couple of them are kind of a stretch, but let's take a look at them and see if we can improve productivity, work relationships, and maybe even the overall office environment. Before I jump in, though, I would humbly ask if you are of the praying kind, or if you just are the type of person that are okay with that have the idea of putting out good thoughts in the universe, as it might be. Uh, Take a moment for my buddy Keith Vaughn. Keith and I have been friends, uh, 30 something years, going back to when I was a brand new wet behind the ears DJ at KLUR, working midnight to 6, mainly on the weekends, or 6 p.m. to midnight, or 10 o'clock, whatever it was, on Sundays. Um, Back then, Keith was at KLUR. He was known as Keith Travis, and then became Keith Vaughn when he got his dream gigs of working in rock radio. Well, Keith is having some ongoing issues. He's posted about it on Facebook, so I don't feel bad about saying anything about this. But Keith has had some hospitalization and whatnot. So if you are so inclined, say a prayer, or have some good intentions today for Keith Vaughn. Thinking about you, buddy. Praying for you, hoping for the best. Anyway, so back to today's Red Mic message. Leave no trace principles. First, you plan ahead and you prepare. That's pretty easy. In the outdoors, you might research the trails, figure out what's the easiest way. How do you pack smart for the environment? What do you need? Do you have to pack in your water and food? Do you have to pack? Of course, you're going to have to pack it out unless you know that they've got trash receptacles and stuff like that. But in the workplace, plan ahead and preparing. Are you ready for the day? Have you prioritized your task? Do you know what you're going to do? Have you anticipated any possible challenges or things that might just crop up in the middle of the day? Have you planned for the unexpected? Good planning will prevent unnecessary stress and hopefully set the stage for a smooth workday. Second, travel and camp on durable surfaces. Now, what does that mean? Now, in nature, you stay on your trails, right? You don't want to do anything bad for the ecosystem. You don't want to you don't want to have an inadvertent butterfly effect and step off the path and crush something that might be important, right? Now, in the workplace, I think that means following along and using established processes. Don't cut corners. Don't ignore guidelines that keep things moving smoothly. Respect the systems that work, and if you need to improve, build on them rather than disrupting the whole thing. Now, you know me. Occasionally, yeah, you just need to blow it all up and start over, but that's not your first move. Unless you just go into a situation where you know, oh, this is all messed up and we're going to have to do some major surgery here. You know, again, stick to what's working. Don't blow it up unless you have to. Okay. Third, leave no trace philosophy. Get rid of your waste properly. Now, in the wild, you pack out your trash unless you know that wherever you get where you're going has got trash facilities that are designed for that. Plan on taking the bad stuff with you, right? So, in the office, think just beyond physical waste. Are you mindful of how your actions, your words, your decisions are going to impact others? Make sure you're not leaving behind confusion or frustration or negativity after those interactions. Clean communication is going to lead to a more positive work environment. 4, leave what you find. Don't take things from nature. In the office, preserve other people's work and ideas, give credit where credit is due. Don't undermine other people's contributions. Respect the efforts that are ongoing in place and work collaboratively to improve them. Okay. 5, minimize impacts. Well, this is pretty easy. In the outdoors, it's like use existing fire rings. You know, you don't want to create a new fire pit unless you just have to. Use those shared resources responsibly. Be mindful of other people's time and space and what you're going to leave behind in your wake. Don't overuse or mismanage resources, particularly if everybody relies on them. Be considerate of how your actions affect the whole team. You know, if there's unused space, or it's space that's just used periodically, um, be smarter about how you allocate in the office. Space is a finite resource, right? So, particularly if you're in the office every day, make sure that you're utilizing those spaces effectively. Number 6 of the Leave No Trace guidelines, respect wildlife. Okay, what does that mean? In the outdoors, you just observe animals from a distance. You don't get up, you don't touch them. You don't do anything that's going to impact their life at all. Not going to change things. In the workplace, respect your colleagues' boundaries. Trust people to handle their responsibilities without hovering or micromanaging, right? Give your team space to thrive. You know, you you remember me talking about Norm and Sam at the bars. It's going to change the price of beer. It shouldn't. Then what do I care? Same sort of idea there. Um, Unless it's going to directly impact your job, what you're doing, your outcomes, leave people to their processes. Leave them alone. And then finally, be considerate of other visitors. That's the 7th leave no trace guideline. Be considerate of others. Now, out in the wild, that means keep your noise down, respect other people's experience. In the workplace, this means, have a collaborative, respectful atmosphere. Um, to whatever extent possible, try to make sure that your work environment is not negatively impacting other people. Um, if you've got meetings or you've got group settings, take them to a private setting, private room, a meeting room or something. Now if you're just stacked up on top of each other like cordwood, yeah, those types of outbursts, those types of collaborative noise are going to happen. But do what you can to be considerate of the other people in your environment. Are your actions contributing to a positive environment, or are you making things harder for other people? The leave no trace philosophy at its core encourages us to be responsible for our actions, whether in nature or in the workplace. So if you adopt at least some of this mindset at work, I think you're going to improve your productivity, create a more sustainable, positive, and respectful environment for everybody. So here's the question. How can you leave your workday whether it's 4, 5, 6 o'clock. How can you leave your workday at least as good, if not better, than you found it? That's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you find it helpful. I hope you'll give me a like, a share, and a follow. The share is really important. I appreciate you being here. And again, good thoughts, prayers from my buddy Keith Vaughn up there in Wichita Falls. You've heard me talk about Keith before. Keith Vaughn, he's got the best voice in radio. He really does. I mean, just basso profundo. You know, Keith Vaughn's voice is what my voice wanted to be when it grew up. So, thoughts and prayers for Keith. I appreciate y'all being here. Go out there and have a great day. Again, like I said yesterday, put your face mask right up against that ball, knock it loose, jar it loose. Have a productive day. Go out there and make yourself known. And don't forget, life is short. Drink that bourbon.